Mm, I hope it still work out in your favor nonetheless.
Oh, I pray. Yes.
Oh, good evening, everybody. Good evening.
Good evening.
Welcome. It is Tuesday. And of course, well, it's Tuesday, the 30th, and ironically, our 30th episode.
Wow.
Room, huh? How about that? Um,
Yeah.
Family, welcome back to the Roundtable Talk Show. Of course, I'm your friend, your host, Unc Christopher Jones, and tonight, of course, we're gonna be as transparent as we possibly can. Um, we're not, you know, trimming the branches. We're actually gonna try to extinguish this fire, right? Especially at the roots, because if you don't deal with the fire at the core, the whole damn forest burns. So this is what we're trying to do, extinguish the fire, although we don't have access to FEMA. Oh man, pun intended. At the national level, I definitely do not want you all to get distracted by what's going on, especially for some individuals that may be like, Chris, I'm not even on social media. I don't even care. That has nothing to do with me. Be be ready to be stood corrected. Okay. So TikTok takeover is not about national security at all. It's not about protecting children, kids. It's not about, you know, protecting those individuals from being bullied on social media and other things like dancing or fights. None of that. There's none of that. It's about the White House deciding whose voices gets toned out, tuned out. I mean, like algorithmed out, pretty much silenced in every way. And who cashes in on our data? That's 100% about what it is, data. Okay, don't let nobody fool you. They know you almost better than you allow others to. So they want to pick winners and losers in the marketplace of speech. They're building data harvesting centers in poor black neighborhoods and in rural counties, calling it jobs or job opportunities. Um, but those sites are nothing but surveillance warehouses, storing your every move, your phone pings, your grocery runs, your doctor visits. And while they scream about TikTok or being owned by Asian individuals, Japanese, Chinese, somebody from across the pond or ponds, depending on which way you go. Yeah, that's ponds. Um, there is like an alert, a national alert. TikTok is, stealing your data. um, where's the outrage about Elon Musk? Y'all remember he had government level access to sensitive US data and sat in on defense meetings and ran through the records of every American like a filing cabinet or a card catalog. Since y'all don't know what
Mhm.
that is, some of y'all don't remember what that is, like the card catalog. And I mean, we still don't know what happened with that, right? All we know is that he had our information. We done got hacked several times before and current. So, or how about the banks and hospitals that get hacked, and even services that we have, right? Like AT&T or uh, other devices that we have in our house possibly getting hacked. But like every year, while our information is dumped to the highest bidder, they definitely do not care about our safety at all. This is 100% about control, and control with your information, your data. At the state level, Texas is running dress rehearsals for dictatorship. They've written laws that punish you once for an act, then punish you again for the record of being online. Um, you get in a fight at school, that's one charge. Somebody posts it, now that's another charge. And you and the person that posted the video is a criminal. Y'all, they're considered to be criminals and can be convicted. They are criminalizing the evidence, criminalizing the witness, criminalizing the truth. Um, all while this is Project 2025 in plain clothes. Texas has been rolling that out for years. Silence the community, erase the narrative, and make sure only the state's version of reality survives. That's been played in our face for a long time now. And I want every Texan to realize, whether you're red or blue, or like me, I'm in between, I'm the bird, I'm not a wing, I'm the bird. I want y'all to know that that is not democracy at all. That is not democracy by far. That is an authoritarian chokehold right here in the state of Texas. Just so you know what we getting to today. On the local level, don't cross y'all ankles just yet. I need y'all to scoot up to the front. Scoot up to the front. Actually, like they tell us in the church, fill in some of these vacant spaces. Come up to the front. Come be part of the conversation. Because today, um, on the local level, let's stop fronting. We gonna definitely stop fronting like gunfire among our youth ain't just the parents' fault. I heard Dustin a few shows ago said, stop saying it starts in the household. Um, it's elders who drop the ball, pastors cashing pulpits instead of block corners, right? Frats and sororities hiding behind photo ops while bodies of boys and girls of their friends are being buried. Leaders smiling at ribbon cuttings but ducking from mentorship. The truth. We left our kids to be raised by TikTok trends or social media trends and drill lyrics and gun clout. And now we want to cry at funerals like we didn't abandon them furs. Nah. Those deaths are on us. So tonight, we're naming the hijackers, unmasking the helpers, and exposing the silence. We're not begging the system for protection. We're building our very own. So strap in because I didn't come by myself. Dr. Campbell, say hello to the people.
Good evening, everybody.
Sharp, unrelenting, This queen who slices through the paperwork and points out traps they definitely don't want you to see. She is at the table. Big bruh, Pair Busby, speak to the people, man.
Good evening, everybody.
Absolutely. Our strategist with the receipts. That's the data man, you know what I'm talking about? Who follows the contracts, the money, the lobbyists, and shows who's pulling the strings in the shadows. That's Big Bro right there. My battle buddy, Dustin, tell the people what's up, man.
What's happening? What it is?
All right, do this for me before I give your complete introduction. Move off to the side so I can see your whole background. Yes, indeed, sir. Yes, indeed, sir. Dustin Harris is the brother who makes it plain. I promise he strips away the jargon and hands it straight to you so you're young and the old can walk away clear in an understanding. Um, so like I said, we're gonna get into some things tonight, and I hope that the fire either gets quenched or we say F it and let it burn. Gotta let it burn. So segment one is our national segment. And so our title or topic for this particular segment is TikTok takeover and data wars. Why platform fight is really about who owns the people's digital lives. I definitely, like I said, want to be real in this space with y'all because some people believe um I'm not on it, so that has nothing to do with me. But the government forcing TikTok sale is not about protecting children. It's about setting the precedent that Washington decides which platforms get sold, who buys them, and what narratives live or what narratives die. And that's straight up a power grab. I don't care how you look at it. I don't care what administration it is. If you think back a little while, that is something that came out of the 45th president, his administration. So the eradication of TikTok and other foreign entities' ownership in America came from the 45th president of the United States of America. And I'm not even giving him the intelligence of an orangutan. No longer. Because I think we can all say acetaminophen. Um while we have the TikTok flag, new data centers are rising in hoods and in rural communities and counties, um, or even in major cities like ours. You may see a node or something that's new, and I ain't talking about these little cameras that they got up. Um, there's something that looks new um, by your house at the corner, maybe even by some stores. It's a node. Call it a Wi-Fi node. Some call it a 5G node. Some say that's the intro of 6G. I don't know if that infrastructure is available, but just pay attention to some of the things that are being added to the spaces in our community. Don't think you're safe because you've never downloaded TikTok. I want y'all to know that. I want you to know that. Don't think you're safe because you've never downloaded Facebook. Don't think you are safe because you do not have an X or Instagram or a Twitter or whatever. Don't think you're safe because if your grandmother filled a prescription, if your uncle made a car payment, if your auntie went to the hospital, you're in those files. Period. Data harvesting is data harvesting is data harvesting, and it doesn't happen on social media alone. They're building shadow records of us all, every last one of us, and they'll weaponize it when it suits them. And if they know your patterns and your behaviors, all right, I ain't gonna stray no more. Let's get some shots. Y'all ready for some shots? Dr. Campbell, who's behind this rush and who profits from seizing the platforms?
Well, the main people, the main people behind the push to force the sale of TikTok are U.S. lawmakers who say the app owned by a Chinese company is a national security risk.
Mm-hmm.
They worry the Chinese government could use it to spy on Americans or spread misinformation. The
Mm-hmm.
corporations and lobbyists who would profit the most are TikTok's US competitors, mainly Meta, which owns Facebook and Instagram,
Mm-hmm.
Google, which owns YouTube, and Snap,
Mm-hmm.
which owns Snapchat. If TikTok is banned or sold, millions of users and advertisers would likely move to these other platforms, making them more powerful and profitable. Their
Mm-hmm.
lobbyists have been pushing for years to convince the government that Chinese tech companies are a threat.
And I mean, how much how many items in our house, Miss Cat, could we look up and find made in China?
Everything, almost everything. Your TV,
So
your
I mean, if they were
telephone, your
gonna
clock.
right, if
Yeah,
they were gonna infiltrate us, they have already, right?
already.
Hmm. Perry, you ready for your shot?
Yes, sir.
I see you drink
Yes,
something.
sir.
You had to get you a chaser, huh?
Nah,
Perry, could
I'm
you
ready.
tell
I'm
us?
ready.
Can you tell us where are these centers, data hubs, and what contracts feed them?
Okay, now that's a loaded question.
Hmm.
Well, for one, we know that these data centers um, have always been populated in predominantly minority communities, those being
Hmm.
communities black and brown and the poor, because data centers have always been uh, within the warehousing districts and those particular industrial areas, which are all which are predominantly in low income and minority communities.
Correct.
Uh, but these new data centers that many may not be aware of, these new data centers that they're building are pretty much popping up all over. I'm in Arizona. There's a big fight going on right now in Tucson over a project that Amazon is proposing called Big Blue, Project Blue. But even here in Phoenix, uh, Phoenix has seen a just a burst of data centers within the past 2 or 3 years.
Hmm.
And according to, and I know that Meta is also proposing a big data center in Wisconsin. So these data centers have become the new Walmarts of the tech industry because they're coming in. Cities are opening up their pocket, opening up the pocketbooks, or should I say your pocketbooks, because it's your taxpayer
Right. Right.
dollars that are going to end up paying for this, because many of these data centers are getting tax abatements along with other uh, prime resources, that being utilities, your electrical, uh, access to your power grid, and access to your water, because data
Mm-hmm.
centers require a lot of energy and they require a lot of water for cooling off. And what we've seen lately is that many data centers are grabbing uh, direct uh, utility power plants to power their data centers exclusively at the expense of the residents. So yeah, uh, they are taking not just the monetary resources and not just the electrical resources.
Right.
Now
Right.
they are working directly with those providers at the exclusion of the city and its residents. And so some cities now are taking that fight on and taking that fight to their city leaders uh, with regard to these contracts. And there's a lot of money. You asked about the money, and Dr. Campbell alluded to it. But just to give you an idea, uh, just in the last year, there's been a 53% increase in investments in data centers.
Mm-hmm.
Just in the first quarter of this year alone, there has been $134 billion invested in data centers. Meta,
Wow.
as Dr. Campbell said, Meta right now has a $200 billion investment in data centers. They're just one. Microsoft has already committed 80 billion for this year, and OpenAI, SoftBank, and Oracle, which some of you, if you're outside of tech, may not be familiar with Oracle, but they are a big uh, database company owned by Larry Ellison, who was also the owner of Virgin Airlines, as well as the other Virgin products that Larry Ellison. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
that company has already announced that they are going to uh, invest 500 billion in an initiative called Stargate. And so by 2030, McKinsey, who does research on all of these things, the McKinsey Project has estimated that by 2030, we will have spent 6.7 trillion, $6.7 trillion by 2030 just on data centers. So that's how important it is.
Man. Mm, Man, ain't that's more than the deficit of the country, huh? Golly, man.
What they
Dustin, you ready
say?
for your shot?
Where a man's treasure is, you'll find out where his heart is, right? That's what they say, right?
That's what they say. Dust, you ready for your shot?
Oh, indeed.
How do elders with no social media end up in these databases?
Well, there's these people that they would like you to believe are just out there hacking and breaking into systems over and over. We can't ever know who these hackers are. But anyway, let's see. If you ever had a Yahoo account, back to the very beginning to now. Well, Yahoo data breach, 3 billion users accounts. There go your data right there. Oh, it don't stop there. You have a credit score, right? Yep, everyone pretty much does. Equifax breach. Expose the personal data of approximately 148 million US citizens.
Yes.
Cool. Say you don't care about your credit. You don't monitor your credit. You ain't got no Yahoo account. You ever stayed at a hotel? You ever stayed at a Marriott or any of the Marriott branches? Yeah, guess what? They got hit too. 500 million customers data all out there. I mean, your name, phone number, sometimes your address,
Driver's license number.
driver's license, whatever
Yeah.
card you put on the books,
Yeah.
whatever you use for your incidentals. All that information is out there because of a few data breaches. And that ain't even the bottom of it. It's still way more breaches that seem to happen every other day. So no matter how you do it, Market Basket got hit, Kroger got hit, HEB got hit. So grocery shopping, yeah, they get you too. Walmart, Sam's, they both got hit. Hey,
7-Eleven, Exxon,
7-Eleven. Oh, you like playing video games? Cool. PlayStation, Xbox, and
Xbox.
Nintendo all got hit.
Yeah. 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 So it's no way, shape, form, or fashion for you not to be in this database. I promise. I
You definitely know.
promise. Because you in there. So my shot is, what tools can communities adopt right now to protect their communications? And protection ain't an app. I just want y'all to know that. It's not a VPN. That's not a protection. And it's not a contraceptive. That's good protection, but it's not gonna keep you from these types of uh let's call them unencrypted diseases, right? So one of the things you could do is use encrypted channels, backup evidence online, even uh, having an external hard drive is ideal. Community servers in your own institutions. Build and run community service servers in your own community, in your own institutions. Every church and library should double as a database safe house because when they cut off the internet, you still need the record. Perry just told you that they can attack everything, including your water. We have horrible weather sometimes. It tears out our internet. I mean, we have horrible weather sometimes that turns down your services, lights, gas, water. And if we don't build community around sustainability in those spaces, including our data, our communications, the way we talk to each other, whether it's text or by phone, if it's not happening in your face, then most of it's already shared. We have to realize that we do live in the United States where there is the Patriot Act in full swing. And that was presidents ago. Maybe even once upon a time, Texas's governor who turned president. So, um, Flashpoint. This is for y'all, chat. If they can seize one platform, what stops them from seizing them all? If they hadn't already. Do you trust them with your data? Type one for yes or two for no. But answer that question. If they can seize one platform, What stops them from seizing them all, especially one that they claim is against what they call it, national security. And again, I'm gonna say you have an immigrant who has U.S. contracts, who has social media platforms, who has other services. I don't know who he provide them to, but we worried about national security. Yeah, right. So let me put that in the chat for y'all. Let me drop that in the chat for y'all so y'all can have. um, absolutely. Dr. Campbell is in the back. Tony, if you could retrieve her, appreciate you. Welcome back, Queen. That was quick.
I've been here all along.
Know your rights. You can export and delete your platform data. You can export your data from any social media platform that you're on, and you can delete the data after you've transferred it. So all of your pictures is then removed, stored somehow, somewhere, not the cloud, because the cloud can be hacked. Put it on a hard device, external hard drive or a zip drive or a flash drive. Put it on that. We don't have floppy disks no more. So put it on that and then delete your platform data. You can file FOIA or Federal Office of Information Act. You could request information from the feds about who cuts the deals to bring data centers in your community or in your country or in your neighborhood. Yeah. Of course, if you start seeing them in your state, you know that the state, the county, and the city government allowed them to put them within their right of ways or easements. Yeah. Yeah. So your government laying in bed with some of these data centers too. Don't think they not. Don't think they not. Let me post that know your rights in the chat right fast. There we go. Um oh no. So the roundtable question for this particular topic is if Washington can broker who owns our voices and our data, how do we build independent systems before every platform becomes a bargaining chip? Dr. Campbell, you have the floor.
Here's a brief breakdown. We build our own. This means supporting and using platforms owned by our community, like social networks, messaging apps, and payment systems created by Black developers and cooperatives.
Mhm.
It shifts power from the big corporations back to us.
I totally agree. I saw today where there was this new app developed by some black individuals, and they say it is like FUBU, for us, by us
Oh,
only, and it's called. I'm not gonna tell y'all what it's called on here.
okay.
Find out what it is. Find
Put it
out
in
what
the
it is.
chat.
No, no, just kidding. It's called Panther, and it's not spelled the way you would think, but it's called Panther. That's the name of the app. Look in your social media spaces or go to your Apple store, your Google Play store, your TV even have it. It's
You said
called
Panther?
Panther. Yes, ma'am. Yep. So check that out. Join that platform. There's also another platform owned by a black individual. Golly, it just slipped my mind.
I know Isaac Hayes the third.
Yes, Isaac
His
Hayes the third
is
has
called,
his platform.
which is a
It's
TikTok
called fan
uh,
base.
fan
Fan
base,
base.
right?
Yes. Thank you, Dust. Yeah, so check that out. Those are two black owned and operated um social media platforms. Check those out. Of course, if you're into dating, BLK is another black owned and black operated uh app where you can find love, maybe. Who knows? Yeah. So if Watch Ticket Broker, who owns our voices and our data, who do we build independent systems before every platform becomes a bargaining chip? Perry, you have the floor.
Thought we were answering the power question before we went to. Uh,
Huh?
I thought we were doing the. I thought we were doing the round table question.
Yeah, that's where we at. If Washington Ticket Broker, who owns our
Okay.
voice, yeah.
Okay. Right. Um, as Dr. Campbell said, I think this, one of the ways is to build our own and look within ourselves. And one of those is, in addition to those platforms, I think we overlook the ability to just use these tools to empower our own communities. I know that some communities have their network, meaning their neighborhood uh, network, uh, but I think that there is a way uh, that we can begin to build what I call community data hubs that help us understand the strength and the health and the vitality of our communities. All of this data that you uh, reported earlier, from traffic cam, like cameras uh, to how the police are using its gunshot recognition. Uh, those are those are public domain technologies that we have a right to access from. So
Yes.
I think it is incumbent upon us that if we are going to be viable, that we need to create those structures where our people can trust the source data, because so much of this data is being used. One of the things, and I'm gonna stop quickly. Uh, Dustin talked about all of the data breaches. We can't forget the biggest data breach of all, and that was Doge going into the three big databases owned by the U.S. government. That being the uh, IRS data, that being the database of vital statistics,
Mm-hmm.
and the labor database. Once you get all of those, you pretty much have done a data coup on any other data system that's out there.
Right, right, right. Absolutely agree. Especially, like I said, with Elon Musk heading Doge at that particular time, having access to that stringent information. And like you said, it wasn't just on these particular platforms, it was also that information, veterans information, um, from A to Z, that the government officiates those unofficial um individuals that had no true access, no real authority to have access to this information, got that information. And like you said, Perry, that was one of the largest data breaches, you know, that we could think about. Dustin, you have the floor.
Well, I look at it this way: you ain't never gonna stop hackers. You ain't never gonna stop breaching. You ain't never gonna stop none of that cyber foolishness. So you might as well get paid for when they do it. So go ahead, invest in you some cyber liability insurance. Big companies do it, you might as well do it too. So basically, it's just insurance whenever your information get leaked. If they can't get it off the web, or if it costs you any money, you get that money back plus some. So hey, you might as well go and prepare yourself. Just like a bunch of life insurance policies stop a bunch of people from dying. A lot of insurance policies stop people from hitting them data breaches. Just take care of yourself because the hackers ain't gonna stop apparently.
Right, right, right. I agree. Put some insurance on it. Put some insurance on it. They're gonna think about it before they touch it. Because insurance is gonna have to pay. I believe independence means sovereignty, y'all. And a mesh network we own. Radio stations we control. Archives we protect. We definitely need to protect the archives. And that's mostly if we could get it out of the never mind. A black data cooperative, y'all, that no president, no lobbyists, no cooperation, no nobody as an individual can auction off, right? Um, I believe that's what disconnection looks like, right? Where we store our own information. Um, some people may be like, "Oh, that's impossible," but I don't think um, that is, I don't think that's something far off from our community. Um, Not silence, but sovereignty. That's what we need to focus on when it comes to our data. There's a question in the chat. Is there cryptocurrency insurance? Anybody want to answer that?
There's insurance for just about anything you can think of. You just gotta ask the right question. Your little State Farm, Progressive, whoever you with, USAA, ask them and watch all of a sudden you have a whole different category of insurance you didn't even know existed pop up.
Sure. Right.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's
Body
move
parts and
to,
all.
let me insure my teeth. um, let's move to segment two. Of course, we're going to focus on all states. We're looking actually at all states, but we're going to pinpoint Texas in particular. So, you know, our I'm definitely thinking about what my co-host said. Keep it clean. So, um, segment two, especially here in the state of Texas, is our topic for this particular segment is charged twice, silenced once. When documentation itself becomes a crime. And in Texas, they're criminalizing the truth, um, and creating their own narratives in the courts. We told y'all what these past laws were building up to. And it's not just this September 1st, it's some September 1st ago. So, we've been missing the mark when it comes to our liberties being maintained, sustained, and restored here in the state of Texas. But, um, like I was saying, one charge for one act, another charge for the post, and both individuals get convicted. The poster and the person that got recorded. Let's just say that. That's not censorship. That's not law, that's censorship by design. 100% by design. And I believe that Texas is coming after our youth. Think about it. A protest gets heated. Most of the people that goes to protests are who? Youth. A protest get heated. They get arrested. Somebody posts a clip of them getting arrested. All in their face. The police officers getting names and badge numbers, right? Suddenly, the filmer, the person that's recording, gets arrested too. Here in the state of Texas, they're punishing the witness, they're punishing the evidence and the archive. And once people are too scared to post, the only version left is the states. See what I'm saying? Polished, controlled, and false. Here in the state of Texas, I'm telling y'all, this ain't just about kids posting fights. This is Project 2025 being tested, or kids accessing um, corn. We're going to call it corn because we're on YouTube. And if y'all know social media lingo, corn stands for not the vegetable. So this is Project 2025 being tested in real time. I mean, 100% real time. Control the narrative, erase the evidence, and criminalize the community. Let's take some shots to this because they got me aggravated. And I'm telling y'all, I'm really trying to keep it clean because, like I said, I see who y'all coming after, Texas. I see who y'all coming after. Y'all coming after these children, especially when you feel or believe that there is no community to support these kids in the first place. Let's do some shots. Perry, you ready?
Yes, sir. I'm ready.
All right. Show us a case where metadata was used to escalate charges.
In fact, there, won't really say escalate charges, but there have been cases where metadata is used. I think the one case that we are not one particular case, but at least one particular event where metadata was used is in the January 6th insurrection.
Mm-hmm.
And we need to continue to remember that event as an insurrection because now the history talking about this data, yes, many cases were used uh, in the January 6th insurrection cases. One in particular where uh, one of the people said that they were there just as a participant, but after getting their data and understanding the location and everything in which they were filming, they were able to escalate those charges and say that they were indeed a part of that event. Now,
Mm-hmm.
taking that, we see Republicans have now flipped that script to take that, and now they are using precedent in that case, Chris. It's not so much as that they began to come after the metadata that's being used, they are saying
Okay.
that the videographer in some ways hampered law enforcement's ability to control the crowd. So they're using, this quickness of hands to say, well, we know we can't attack your First Amendment rights, which we know that we are attacking because we don't want evidence of our actions going public. And so
Mm-hmm.
now, they're saying, yes, you can film, but you're going to have to film from afar. Well, if I'm caught up in the mix, how can I now exclude myself from the crowd in order to film? So, yeah, uh, it's them using the courts now, and we have to be very vigilant in the sense of those who in how we protest, those who
Yeah.
are
Yeah.
in the action, and those who are there to record, and those who are there to record. We have to then be strategized in terms of how we take this film. But yes, we are in a very different uh, culture now, in the sense that, yeah, with some of these Republican stacked courts, uh, there is very much a sense of revenge that is an undercurrent in our culture.
Right. I totally agree. I totally agree. Dr. Camper, you ready for your shot?
Ready.
All right. Break down the legal tricks that make posting into incitement.
So there's a legal phrase that is used, and the key phrase from the Supreme Court is imminent lawless action.
Mm-hmm.
This, yeah, this means a post isn't just offensive or angry talk. It only becomes illegal. I'm sorry. It only becomes illegal incitement if it is number one, directly encouraging people to break the law immediately,
Mm-hmm.
or number two, likely to cause that illegal action to happen right away.
Mm-hmm.
For example, yelling, attack that building now to an angry mob is different from posting, I'm really angry at the government. And so, how councils can challenge it publicly? A city council can't change this legal standard, but they can use their public voice to demand transparency,
Mm-hmm.
publicly asking police and prosecutors to explain exactly how how a social media post met the imminent lawless action standard.
Mm-hmm.
They can hold public forums, host meetings to educate
Mm-hmm.
people on the
Mm-hmm.
law and hear concerns about it being applied unfairly, or pass resolutions. They can vote on official statements that condemn the misuse of incitement laws to silence peaceful protest or free speech.
Mm-hmm. Especially silent protest or free
Mm-hmm.
speech. Peaceful
Mm-hmm.
protest, period.
Right.
Yeah. Dustin, you ready for your shot?
Yeah, I had to get my notes together.
Do us a favor with your shot, bro. Walk through the scenario of a team posting a fight on both end and of his friend fighting rather, and both of them end up going to jail or being charged. What should parents do? Give us some insight.
Now, first off, learn what the law is, because at no point should your child be locked up because they recorded a fight. Because Texas law says it is perfectly legal to record a fight. It is perfectly legal to record a fight with audio, just to make sure, just to cover yourself, to make sure they, leave them alone. Just go ahead and talk over while the fight is going on. Then it's your voice and not what's going on with the fight. So, as long as it's in the public, which most fights are, because I don't know too many people recording fights in bedrooms, but it is what it is.
I've seen it.
As long as it's in public, you're at a distance away from them, aka learn to use your Zoom, and you're not showing any intimate objects of the person's body. So basically, if it's a fight and some clothes start coming off, it's time to hit that stop button. Cause then you start transitioning into, depending on the age, pornography or child pornography. So be very careful about that. But let's see. Yeah, so that's basically all it is. As long as it's in public, as long as the audio isn't only of two people arguing and talking that didn't consent to the video being posted, basically dub your voice over or put some music
Mhm.
playing before you post. As long as no body parts come popping out during the fight,
And if they do blur it,
yep, get your blur on or pan away a little bit, That way you get the gist of the fight. You just don't get the direct shot. But all it is, just teach your kids a little bit of law and don't be a coward yourself. Because ain't no way you should allow any of that, because it's just an intimidation tactic. So you shouldn't allow it to go on. Because any lawyer that ain't walking in the courtroom with his toes out can get that thrown out.
unless they're a lawyer like me, they have a disability with a nerve and they could walk in there with flip flops at
I
at
ain't
the
no problem
behest
with
of
the
the
flip
court.
flops. It's when I seen that dude with the wrinkled slacks, the Jesus slippers with the socks on. I knew that man was going to jail.
He was dressed for success, bro. You can't. Man, so my shot is what should grassroots journalists do to protect evidence and themselves? I would say saving everything offline, just like I said earlier, on the national topic about, having a external hard drive or flash drive or something of that nature. Um, to store your data, to store that information. Burn it to drives, like particular drives, lock it into safes, print it if you need to, and put it in the file cabinet that's fireproof and waterproof. Yeah. Um, you know, deliver it to lawyers, make copies of it, send it to the send it to the press. Um, you know, do all what you have to do before you upload it. Just like Dustin said, make sure that if it's something that's recorded, make sure that it's in the parameters of you speaking or mediating or narrating in some sense, not enticing, um, not egging on, not encouraging. It should be like every now and again, hey, y'all should cut that out type. And I'm not laughing at it because I could just see people, um, here in the state of Texas, like, well, I had my music over it. It was screwed and chopped. So, I could just imagine. But definitely make sure, like Dustin said, also, like Perry said, and Dr. Campbell said, know the law, period. Know it. Not know it to fight nobody with it, but know it to govern yourself. It's a lot of people that live here in the state of Texas, and September 1st, 2017, when we got new laws, we're still trying to adjust to those. And here it is, September 1st, 2025, and we got almost the same, if not more, new laws on the books here in the state of Texas. So I definitely want everybody to be on point when it comes to knowing the law. Our footage is our shield. Protect it like our life depends on it, because one day it will. I promise. Flashpoint, this is for y'all, chat. Should posting videos be a crime? Type one in the chat for yes or two for no. And if no, yeah, yeah. Y'all got some homework today. If no, who should draw the line? Who should draw the line? Not where should the line be drawn. Who should draw the line? And I will post that in the chat right now for y'all. Yeah. Know your rights. You can record. Well, I'm sorry. Anybody wanted to answer that flashpoint? That's probably what Perry was talking about. Anybody wanted to answer that flashpoint? My bad, Perry. All right, cool. Know your rights. You can record in public, just like Dustin said. Police need a warrant. Go ahead, Perry. I hear you.
No, no, I was saying, yeah, I'm back online. So now that I thought I was off track on that, but yeah, we okay with the flashpoint.
Got you.
I've
Um,
been gone for 2 weeks, so excuse me. I've been gone for 2 weeks, so I'm not used to the new format.
No, so yeah, know your rights. You can record in public, just like Dustin said. Police need a warrant to take your phone. Police need a warrant to dig in a bag. I don't care if you gave them rights to search your car, they still need a warrant to dig in the bags that are in your car. So, never delete originals. Never delete originals. Send out the copies. Share copies with everybody. If you think um the information that you have or the knowledge that you have gathered is pertinent for everybody to know, share it. Don't hold on to it like many of these gatekeepers do. Share that information. Protect yourself as well as the rest of us in the community. And that's the way we can do it. So I'm gonna post that in the chat so y'all can know. Roundtable question for this particular topic is, if the state criminalizes both the act and the record, how do we defend our right to witness and preserve the truth? Dr. Campbell, you have the floor.
When the state criminalizes both an action and the record of
Hmm.
it, defending our right to preserve the truth involves number one, using our legal rights, rely on
Hmm.
free speech and press freedoms like the First Amendment to
Hmm.
argue the recording public events is protected.
Right.
Lawyers can challenge the laws in court for being too broad or violating constitutional rights. Number two, building independent networks.
Hmm.
Create community based systems for safe documentation, such as encrypted apps or decentralized archives. Uh, this ensures evidence survives state suppression.
Hmm.
And then number three, public pressure. Organized through local councils, protests, or social media to expose state overreach. Councils can pass resolutions supporting the right to witness and demand transparency from authorities.
Hmm.
Number four, in international advocacy. Report abuses to human rights groups like Amnesty International to gain global support and pressure the state to back down. In short, combine legal challenges, secure technology, and public mobilization to protect the truth without relying solely on the state narratives.
I
Control your
totally
own
agree.
narrative.
I
Yeah.
totally agree. I totally agree. Especially reaching out to the international courts.
Right.
Whether we figured we had access to that or not, we do. 100% we do. Perry, you have the floor.
I think one of the things you pose it in terms of how we can best defend, but just want to maybe flip that and say how we can use it to our benefit as well.
Absolutely.
Because one of the things that we understand is that in many of these cases where they are uh, trying to uh, in protest where they are trying to bring these charges. One of the things that we do recognize is that once once you are charged, now this evidence is now on record. And
Hmm.
one of the things we can begin to do again in these cases, you say, well, that you asked previously about cases in which metadata had been used. There was a case in Maryland where the defendant was able to get the metadata from the policeman's body cam because the policeman at the time didn't know that the body cam starts recording at least 30 seconds. Once they press record, the body cam uh, takes in the previous 30 seconds in addition to the video. And with that, the defendant was able to show that the policeman had planted evidence in his car before turning on the camera.
Hmm. Hmm.
And so, again, I think we have to be very vigilant. Again, yes, we know now that that the video is now on record in another case. Being able to use that, and some of these defendants have used that against rogue police cops, in which they're able to identify policemen who have been in multiple incidents that have been captured on video. And now with some of that evidence now in court
Yeah.
records, you now have precedents to
Right.
prove
Right.
that there's a that there are some prior incidents. So again, I think yes, we do. The initial thing is always to look at how it is uh, taking away our rights, but I think part of the time we also need to think in how we can use this. I mean, more of the taekwondo mentality. How can I take this energy and push it back out against the system that's using it against me? I think is one of the things that we really need to begin to focus our time on is how can we use this to help in our fight as opposed to how do we best defend.
I agree.
That's it for
I
me.
agree. They was hating a little bit. They was hating a little bit, but I agree. I mean, like there is a definite need for individuals to take that Wu Tang mindset, especially in today's society. Dustin, you have the floor.
All right, so the law that they probably gonna try to hem most people up on is the one party consent, which basically means one people inside the video has to have consented to the recording. So if you record somebody having a conversation, if it's a conversation between y'all, perfectly fine. If it's other people talking, there's your problem. So way to get around that, it covers a lot of things, but the way to get around that is talk. Simply putting your words into the video kills that consent. Not being in anybody's personal space. And I know this happens a lot with law enforcement. Oh, yeah, my personal space. Your personal space is you holding your arms out to your side, spinning a circle. That's your personal space. You don't get 10 feet. That ain't personal.
Yeah.
Also, Again, as long as ain't no intimate body parts out there showing, again, you're good to go. And like I said earlier, if you wanna, to have an ace in the hole to make sure ain't nothing gonna get back on you, go ahead, drop some music on it. It ain't even gotta go what the video about. Just go and drop that music, and you all clear. You might have to pay some copyright fees. Hey, it's no longer a crime.
What you say?
Or you can put at
Cherish
the
the
bottom of the
day.
video, we do not own the rights to this music.
Cause Facebook and Instagram still gonna
Oh
come get them
man,
coins though.
man. Yeah, they gonna get them coins. They gonna get them coins. Um, I believe we push city laws, sort of kind of like Dr. Campbell said. Believe we push city laws that protect recording. Um, Especially when it comes to recording what my eye can see just me by me walking outside, or being engaged, or like you said, if I'm sitting and having a video and a fight just so happened to break out, or you know police just so happen to be abusing somebody, and I turn around as I keep talking and let everybody see what's happening behind me, you know that's purely legal. That's 100% legal. I'm still in the video. I'm commentating the video. I did a disclaimer. I do not own the rights to this music. I did a disclaimer. I am not inciting violence. I did not, I did not provoke this by me recording or anything of that nature. Make sure you have those disclaimers in your video. And even if you have to have it in writing, like script. You notice that AI has everything with closed caption. So script it out if you need to make sure that your evidence or your information or what was recorded is concrete information, word for word, verbatim. We fund defense attorneys for citizen journalists. We can't necessarily depend on um, social or civil rights groups and organizations, clubs and such, because a lot of their money is going to be affected. A lot of them also, as activists in the community, are going to be affected by these laws. Advocacy groups like the NAACP, ACLU, all of these groups are set to be poised for charges being brought upon them. Environmental watch groups, including those individuals, will be or could potentially be brought up on charges for incitement here in the state of Texas, because they don't like what you say. They didn't like the way you presented it to the community. They don't want their own people to be woke. So we demand prosecutors put in writing that filming is not interference. Like Dustin said, you can't own the block. What she said in the movie, you don't own the theater. So don't shush me. You can't tell me what I can and can't record, especially if you are a police officer. I'm not interfering with your case. I'm merely standing here commentating, and I'm talking, telling people what they're seeing. And there's no charges that's there, no interference whatsoever. Your body cam plus my live stream shows that I didn't interfere with your whatever it is that you were doing as a police officer until it became hostile against a citizen. There's a difference. And because I choose to record a hostile against uh, a citizen, so shall it be. We need to leave. We need to learn to scrub metadata before posting it. I hear a lot of people talk about a carbon copy. Oh, I just don't want to. Leave my carbon footprint around. This ties back into your carbon footprint. Your data ties into your carbon footprint. If we don't fight for the right to record, we surrender the right to reality, to truth, to creating our narrative. And that includes documentaries of us. So that brings me to segment three. Our local topic, of course, we're looking at something in particular that does not necessarily pertain to Beaumont solely, but I'm definitely trying not to botch this conversation we're gonna have on the on the local front. Uh, I still hear you, Dr. Campbell. I still hear you. I'm trying to be good,
Thank
behave.
you.
Segment three is our local segment. Our title for this particular segment is Youth Fire Elder Silence. You heard it. Standards abandoned, futures betrayed. Yeah, I'm coming for y'all. I told y'all I was coming. I kind of set it up all the way from the national state, and now here we are at your front door. Let's be honest, the chaos in our youth is the mirror of our silence. Amen, lights. I'll say it
Mhm.
again. The chaos
Mhm.
in our youth or in our youth community is a mirror of our current silence.
Mm, mm, mm,
Yeah. Elders used to break up beefs before they became wars. Pastors used to stand on porches, not just pulpits. Civic groups used to raise sons and daughters from the block up, not just scholarship the kid who's already made it. Now our kids are learning about respect, power, and manhood from TikTok challenges,
mm, mm,
rap
mm.
beefs, and gun smoke. All hours of the day, not just in the morning, all hours of the day. And then we got the audacity as elders and older people or seniors, because y'all know I told y'all there's a difference between an elder and a senior. And some of our elders who we thought were elders turn out to be senior, weak as pond water. Now, when we got this cowardice community, y'all look at Miss Cat on here. Y'all look at Miss Cat on here. And we got viewers and watchers that don't like profanity, like my mama used to do back in the day. Our kids are our future. The youth are not the only problem. The elders abandoned their posts. That's the problem. That's the issue. And being that it's a small few of us who still stands in the gap in the absence of the rest of us, it's like it's swallowing us up. It's like tossing a tic tac to a whale. So, that's what we're digging into for this particular topic. And if something fly out of my mouth, I'ma apologize already. Shots. Y'all ready for shots? Let the
Yeah.
pair say yeah. No, just kidding. Perry. Map where youth shootings cluster and how they overlap with absentee or absent institutions.
Um, when I was
I think you
growing up
muted.
in Beaumont.
Yeah, you muted.
Oh.
I could hear him.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me
Still
now?
muted.
Yes,
Can you hear me now? Okay.
we can hear
Okay.
Yeah,
you.
no, yeah, I was saying when I grew up in Beaumont, most of the fights originated in clusters where the youth were unsupervised. That being, for the most part, back in the day, it was always good to see a fight at Rainbow Skating Ring in the parking lot after it was time for after you had turned in your skates and everybody was just milling around in the parking lot. So yeah, that's where a fight started. Fights also started in Terrell Park on Sundays because that's where we gathered. Those of us who didn't go to 3 o'clock service and didn't have to go to BTU, we
Mm,
hung out
mm,
at Terrell Park. And so with that absence of oversight, yeah, that's where you saw a lot of fights. And so you map that now, and you notice I only mentioned really two spots. I'm sure there were a few more, be it parties or whatever. Uh, but with the number of clusters and shootings that happens now, really speaks to a lack of oversight all around. Because even if you weren't in a fight at Terrell Park, the last thing you want to do was go home and have your parents find out about that fight at Terrell Park. If you had those kind of parents, which speaks to another issue. I think we have one of the biggest issues is this disconnect. We have parents who have provided kids with all of the tools and amenities while mama and daddy got their thing going. I'm not saying that their thing was a bad thing, but their thing was disassociated. And we have a lot of parents now who are totally disassociated from what's impacting their child
mm, mm.
and what entices their child. And so, yeah, we have an issue now because now that the issue has started, we have parents that really don't even know how to address it with their own kids. We have parents that don't even that would be just to make it personal. I mean, I had a parent. My mom didn't know anything about weed, so when mama came to me about a conversation that that I knew about and weed was involved, man, I played dumb and didn't know because I knew if I did, she was looking for that obvious answer, and I wasn't gonna give it. And I think parents today are just getting played because they don't see that your kid is noticing your every move. And because you got parents living so openly. You spent time you really didn't know what your parents was involved in. But we got parents living so openly, and their business is out there just as much as the kids' business is out there on social media. Then you keep asking yourself, where did these apples come from? And I keep looking at trees. So why are we wondering where these kids coming from when we looking at the trees that's producing it and not saying anything about it? So yeah, I'm with you, Chris. Yeah, it makes you want to, makes you want to holler. I'm through. I'm gonna leave it alone because I'm like you. I'll end up cussing.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, yeah, yeah. To Dr. Campbell. He asked me to. Campbell asked me to. So y'all might as well tell her thank y'all. Tell her thank you here.
I appreciate you fellas
Have you ready
using
for
your
your
real
shot?
language.
Absolutely.
Doing your diverse English
What
vocabulary.
frameworks exist for elders to rearrange or re-engage without fear of liability?
That's me. Hello.
Yes, ma'am, it is.
Okay. I couldn't hear him. He's going in and out. So okay, so here are some safe and lawful frameworks that still allow elders to re-engage as mentors and volunteers. But before I go into them, I want to say this. I can remember a day when everybody in the neighborhood could whip you and your mama knew it before you got home, right? So, but now there's this gentle parenting that the kids aren't getting disciplined at all. They're disciplining the parents, disciplining the parents, and it's ridiculous. But anyway, the safe and lawful frameworks that still allow elders to re-engage are number one, formal programs that with established organizations. It's the safest path through well-known nonprofits, schools, or religious groups. These organizations have pre-existing insurance, liability protection, and volunteer protocols that cover their volunteers. Number two, written mentorship agreements, creating a simple contract for mentorship roles um, that can define. Hold on, y'all. I done lost my place. Mm-mm-mm. Okay, here we are. Creating simple mentorship roles. Okay, they can define the relationship, responsibilities, and limits which can manage liability. These are the mentorship agreements that can be formed in a neighborhood. Then you have service corps models, programs like AmeriCorps Seniors, which includes foster grandparents program and an RSVP program. These are specifically designed for this. They provide structured, protected environment with training and liability coverage. In short, the key is partnering with established institutions that have legal and insurance frameworks already in place to protect everyone involved. So there you have it. How seniors can mentor back into the community.
I don't know where he done ducked off to, but let me see what my shot was. Put it up. Oh, there you go. He back.
Wow. So yeah, I don't know what happened. After all of a sudden I couldn't hear nobody. Oh man. Miss Cat, I appreciate that. I didn't catch it all. I had to unmute my YouTube. I didn't hear it in my ear, so I had to catch it on my YouTube, but you was right on point. Dustin, you ready for your shot? Say yeah.
Yeah, indeed.
Give a 1 week starter plan for families to change the energy now.
All right, well, that ain't that hard. First off, make your presence known outside. That means you gotta go and get above that couch, get out that AC, get on back
Mhm.
outside. You know, like the young folks say, we outside.
We
Old folks be on
outside.
outside too.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, walk your neighborhood. Something simple, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Let people know you live there. You got a dog, give them some
Mm-hmm.
exercise. You got a cat, I heard you can walk cats too. Go and get them
I've
some
seen
exercise.
it.
Let people know you live there.
Mm-hmm.
Speak to people.
Yes.
What?
What's wrong with
Hey,
the elders not speaking no more,
hey,
man?
how you doing? I'll let you, going off subject, but I'm gonna let you know right now. If I ever take the time to speak, because I don't like people like that, but if I speak and you just give me a look, I'm gonna let you know I'm not nice enough to walk away. You gonna get called all kind of old, crusty, whatever, and then
They
I'm gonna
may
go.
not hear you, Dustin.
Oh, you heard me. Cause see, I go off body language. I don't go off just hearing. Cause if I say something and your eyebrows move or your
You
head twitch
heard
a
me.
little, oh, you heard me.
So you gonna say something and wave
Yep.
Oh yeah, I don't just wave because people could be blind these days. I'm gonna give you some vocals.
or deaf? They could be deaf too.
Exactly. That's why I give you the hand. Because either way, now if you're blind and deaf, you ain't gonna hear me
You
talk
shouldn't be
about you
outside by yourself.
nowhere. They need a sign or something.
Yes.
But anywho, getting back on it, make sure your neighbors know who you are. There should be no
Mm-hmm.
neighbors that are strangers. You should at least know a name, even if it's just the last one.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't got to be in the neighborhood making posts every other week, but make one randomly.
Yeah.
Go to neighborhood events because I know they have meetings and little kickbacks or whatnot. Pop up at one so people be like, "Oh, you actually live here? Huh, surprise!"
Right. Right.
Pop up at the schools. Pop up at the games. Middle school, high school, elementary. It don't matter. Pop up. Let them see you. Pop up them parent teacher meetings. Walk the halls of the school. Let them look at you a little bit. Just bring your presence more to the public,
Yeah.
and not just when you're dropping your kid off somewhere.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I love it. All I heard was engage, engage, engage in every
Absolutely.
facet. Even if you at the
Mm-hmm.
church, you have a covenant that you had at the church. You should have a covenant that you should have for our youth and in our community. Period. um, my shot is share proven elder led models that cut youth violence. I just said, you know, church led engagements. That definitely kept a lot of kids from even accessing violence. But I want to point to Philly because Philly cut shootings with block rotations of their officers. Chicago stopped carjackings with elder patrols. You heard what I said? Elder patrol. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The blueprint is already here, y'all.
'Cause
10
seniors don't miss the
elders.
details.
Right. At all. At all. And of
Mm-hmm.
course, we do not want any biased seniors. We want uplifting elders. See the difference? So
Mm-hmm.
10 elders, 10 hours, 10 youth, rotate, show up, repeat. That's 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 pretty much what Dustin said too. Like, show up. If the kids outside, be outside. Wave. If they don't speak, you speak. It's a many a days I done seen somebody dribbling the basketball on the way to Jacobs Park, and I spoke. What's up with it, young king? What's up with it, little princess? How you doing, queen? Especially as they walk on the way with their kids to the park. Or especially if I see some young men, what's going on, fellas? How y'all doing today? All right, sir. How's it going? Or are we good up? Because again, I'm in the neighborhood. I'm in the streets too. We in the streets. We outside, and we're not just outside, but we engage one with each other.
Children are less likely to start trouble if there's somebody interested in them. So it is really a good thing for seniors, or even just starting at home with the parents. If they show some interest in their children, children are less likely to stir trouble
I'm glad you said that because presidents beats sermons every time.
all day long.
Presidents beats sermons every time. Every time. Flashpoint, chat, y'all ready? Which matters more? Elders showing up daily or preaching once a month? Type one for presence or two for sermon. Type that in the chat. Go ahead, answer that in the chat. That's for y'all, chat.
My answer is one.
My answer is one. Even if it makes them mad, my answer is one.
Exactly.
What's
Yeah,
your answer?
my now my dad used to say the best sermon that people will remember is the one that they can see.
That's right. Live it.
Yeah, yeah. Know your rights. You can definitely form neighborhood associations and or join a neighborhood association. There is the North End Neighborhood Association. There is the Terra Park Neighborhood Association. There is the Oaks Historic District Neighborhood Association. There is the South Park Reestablishing Neighborhood Association, which is they're reestablishing themselves. There is the South End Charlton Pollard Neighborhood Association. Um, there's some others. Acorn Neighborhood Association, Pecan Neighborhood Association in Port Arthur. There's several different organizations that you or associations that you could join and become part of communities, right? Join, not only join neighborhood associations, but churches can log mentorship hours. They are they log mentorship hours. Cities can fund self safe passage routes and apprenticeships. I'm gonna say that again for those that don't know. Every year we go up before our city, fighting for the same dime that they fit to split three ways, but they can fund safe passage routes and apprenticeships. The roundtable question for this particular topic is if a community is failing, its youth by absence, what is the first standard we must reestablish right now, this month, and we probably got a day left? Dr. Campbell, you have the floor.
The first standard to reestablish this month is what we've already talked about: consistent, visible presence.
Hmm.
This means physically showing up predictably and reliably in spaces where youth are. Before any program or policy, trust must be built.
Hmm.
And this looks like adults posting up at the same time each day at bus stops, park benches, or school gates, not to interrogate, but to say hello and be a
Right,
familiar face. Reopening and consistently staffing community centers, rec centers, or church basements for unstructured hours. Walking the block shifts by trusted elders to de-escalate tensions and simply be seen, be a seen, caring presence. Why this first? Violence and disconnect flourish in isolation. You cannot mentor, guide, or protect a young person you never see. Presence is a non-negotiable foundation that all other help, like mentorship, jobs, or counseling, is built upon. It signals you are seen, this space is cared for, you are not alone. Mm.
I totally agree. Period. You have the floor.
Uh, we we have to establish a standard beyond if I'm okay, then that's all I need to do.
Mm.
We have got to establish a standard that if we are going to focus on our own self agency, that self agency has a responsibility, as they say, to be my brother's keeper. Because if you aren't being your brother's keeper, then who is keeping you?
Mm.
Mm,
And so we've lost this sense. We've lost the
mm,
sense of that we are the part of the community. That community is we. It's not just I. It's not just that I keep my yard clean or that
right.
my kids are doing well or just it's
Right.
me, my four, no more. That my community extends to the block. It extends to the senior. It extends to helping that grandmother who now has responsibility of taking care of her
Yes.
grandkids and
Yes.
with no village of her own. She is the village for her
Mm-hmm.
kids, and now she's there left to deal with young minds that she's ill prepared to lead. And so where is that village? And then we're all waiting for, we started with the videos, then we waiting for the video when this explodes in our face to say how sorry we are that this happened. Ooh, I used to see them kids. I didn't know
Mm-hmm.
what was going on in the house. It's we've become too disconnected.
Mm-hmm.
And if there's one standard that we have to set for ourselves, is that we have to re-engage beyond our own little circles of influence.
I totally agree. Dustin, you have the floor.
It's basically like I was saying earlier. I gotta get on out them house, get back on them porches. Let the people know you're there. On top of that, a lot of people just need to go ahead and swallow their ego, swallow that pride, and let other people help you with them kids. Maybe you can't make the game. Cool. Yeah, maybe you got some community that can make it for you. Cheer that kid on. Or a kid having a hard time. You ain't good at math. Somebody else might be. Go and accept
Yeah.
that helping hand.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Helping hand ain't just, oh, I'm a discipline him whenever he acting up. No. Sometimes it's a pat on the back. It's a keep your head up. It's a hey, 2 plus 2 is 4. Nah, you wrote them threes backwards. Here's your ABCs. You learn how you shoe. Let me teach you. Here, I seen you struggling to ride that bike. It's things like that.
Man.
Let people know somebody else is out there instead of just what I'm dealing with at home. I go down the street,
Mm-hmm.
holler at this person, and they ain't gonna be no weirdo trying to do stuff. They just gonna be there to lend a helping hand
Exactly.
when needed. That's
Exactly.
all it is. You just gotta, stop that. Oh, it's me. I got all this. I got all this on myself. It ain't always about that. Sometimes you can't help what needs to be helped.
Man. 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 I will definitely say, y'all. brought it because all I heard the entire time y'all were responding is consistency. I heard consistency, consistency, consistency. And, you know, kids don't need just speeches and moments where they're being taught. They need um, schedules where they see you on a regular, where your engagement is consistent, right? They need to know that on this particular day, I'm going to see Miss Mildred walk around here. I'm going to make sure that my pants is up. I don't care what I look like after she passed, but while she walking up to me, my pants gonna be up. I'ma speak. I'ma say hello, Miss Mildred. I'm not gonna have my little cigarette or none of that lit while Miss Mildred on her walk. Because I not only respect myself, but I respect Miss Mildred. And Miss Mildred respects me enough to wave and say, "Good evening, baby," or respects me enough to ask me to come to her house so I could go pick something up from the store for her. How many of y'all have a Miss Mildred in your neighborhood? Her name just ain't Mildred. Or you don't know what Miss Mildred's name is because not only is Miss Mildred no longer sitting on her porch, Miss Mildred been in the house almost 3 weeks and nobody knocked or checked on her. Same go for Mr. Milton. How many of us as the middle are reaching out to our elders as well as reaching out to the youth to bring those two communities together? Because if we are in the middle, then dang it, we are the bridge. If you in your 50s and late 30s, let's say 50 to 35, you are the freaking bridge. And we could go older than that because we're looking at the life expectancy of our elders and seniors to be longer. So let's get out of the 50s and tap onto some of you retired individuals. Those of you that do sit on your porch and don't speak, or do sit on your porch and you're so wasted you can't give a wave, a positive word. You're automatically judgmental at the kids that pass or the young adults like myself that pass and wave and speak. And just like Dustin, I'm that individual too that will turn to you and tell you where you could go with my hello I just sent to you since you didn't want to send one back. Consistency. Kids don't need speeches, they need schedules. Elders need to routine or to rotate the routine. They need to show up, like everybody on here said. Show up. I promise you, it's several young men and young women that would like to know how to bait a hook, and they don't know because they parent don't know. I know it's quite a few individuals who would like to know how to grow food. Young people would love to know how to grow food, but they can't learn because their parents don't know.
Mm.
It's I'm sure a wealth of information and knowledge in our city alone here in Beaumont to a point, especially with retired educators and educators current, teachers included. Why is our district with a D? Why the majority of our schools are Fs?
Mm.
That says a lot about what we're pouring into our youth, as well as complementing those that are in the space to educate currently. There's a big gap, like Perry said, a huge gap. And if we don't fill that gap with information, knowledge, and cohesive collective engagement, oh, we done for already. Because that's our future, y'all. That's our next council persons. Those are our next lawyers and doctors. Those are the next individuals who will be fixing our water lines that we have issues with currently. Those will be the individuals fixing our streets that sink currently. So if you don't embrace them now, if they don't know you now, and especially please don't think you just gonna coach to them and not be apt to learn because they're gonna call you out. I'm telling you, because I've been there, I'm with them. Join your PTA. The district is looking for volunteers. So desperate for volunteers, they're creating program after program, not only for you, but for your child. And guess where you at? Absent. Absent. If gangs can do it, so can we. If people that infiltrate your house by the devices that we give our children can, so can we. And we're in their face. The first standard is presence. Everything else comes after. Dr. Campbell, give us something that'll close us out for the week. I did it. I did it, Queen.
You did well. So proud of you.
Thank you.
There's a
Thank
halo
you.
on your head. I'm sure everyone can see it.
It's probably on fire because all this heat up under this head, and this is snapback. I promise. Yeah, that took a lot. I want to tell y'all that took a lot. Go ahead, Queen. You have the
The
floor.
more you do it, the easier it will get. Rebuilding trust. I'm gonna just pound that in some more because that's where we've been all night.
Mhm.
Rebuilding trust does begin with consistent presence, not just programs. Show up, listen, plant seeds of hope, even when
Man,
results aren't immediate. Our responsibility is to be faithful in the small daily acts that protect and guide the next generation. So, in us doing that, we should not be weary in doing good because at the proper time, we will get the harvest if we don't give up.
man, man.
Bingo.
Absolutely. Perry, give us something for the rest of the week.
Uh,
Release the
wow,
Epstein
man,
files.
this has been a great uh, 2 hours, almost 2 hours. Uh, and I do want to leave with this, man. Hearing you and just Dustin um, talk about the elders, of which I am a group. I'm a member of that group. I acknowledge that. Um, but I also have to acknowledge the stinking truth of your words. Primarily so because I represent that. I represent that group, and to hear it and not know, and to know that you are telling the truth. I mean, it's for any parent uh, who's had their kids in the midst of any heated conversation to expose truth on you. Uh, only I'm talking to parents who've been there, who who's been real with your kids and your kid and
Mm-hmm.
allowed your kids to be their real selves with you, for them to tell you truth about yourself, even that truth that you don't really like.
Right.
You got to sit with that. You can't just avoid that. And I know as parents many times we'll be quick to shut the conversation down. Hell, for some parents it becomes fighting words.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to ask yourself, not the response is, you can't talk to me like that. And the thing is, why are you receiving it like that? Why are you receiving truth in anger? Why is our response to see truth before us and to call it, ooh, I don't know what's wrong with those kids? Why are we dismissing the truth before our eyes?
Man.
And it stings and it hurts, because now it's not just our kids out, it's our grandkids. And if we don't stop our part of the breach, it's only going to go downhill. I see the struggles of your generation. You are taking on some extended responsibility for, just as you said, we didn't teach you how to bait this hook. We didn't teach you how to shoot a basketball. We didn't even teach you how to express yourself intelligently without anger. I ask everyone, and I'm trying to remember the young lady's name, a basketball player with the Minnesota Lynx. What's her name? Frida Collier.
That
She,
would be Fee Collins.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. She gave a press conference today that I encourage everyone to go see. She called out the WNBA executives by name, and she laid receipts. And I'm just saying to my peers and my groups, if you don't clean up your act, you gonna get these same receipts
Oh, I'm telling you, and they coming.
laid at your feet. I'm through.
Telling you.
Miss Cat,
I'm telling
thank
you,
you.
and they
I didn't
coming.
cuss either. I didn't cuss.
So proud of you.
Dustin, you have the floor. Give us something for the rest of the week, bro.
Well, it's that time for word of the day.
Word of the week.
It's a word quite often misused and not quite understood what it meant. The word is American. People like to throw this word around. Oh, the American, this is America. This means you're American. Okay, newsflash. I don't know what grade you learned, but I learned
Did you mute your mic, Dustin? We can't hear you.
Oh, they hating on Buddy.
oh, nah, I'm back. They tried to take me
Okay.
out.
Yeah, I
I
figured
see.
as
It's
much. I
okay.
figured as much.
FBI, you gonna
Can you
get this
repeat the
work too?
whole thing, Dustin? Because I missed it. I missed it
Yeah,
while you were out.
start from the jump, brother.
All right.
Since they want to hate.
Word of the
Word of
week
the week.
is American. A lot of people use it improperly. They get it misconstrued because social studies taught you there's countries and then there's continents. See, the problem is people take the United States of America. See, that of mean it's part of a bigger thing. So, what the United States is part of is North America. So, calling people Americans and not Americans, here's a news flash. Canadians are Americans.
Facts.
Mexicans are Americans.
Facts.
Brazilians, people from Peru, Chile, Argentina, Colombia, Venezuela, all those are Americans.
Facts.
Just like anybody from Africa is an African as long as it's touching that continent. Same goes for America. You're either North American or South American, but you're an American at the end of the day.
Facts.
Now, if you want to specify that, that's why when people ask me where I'm from when I was overseas, I said I was from Texas. Because America, I could be from anywhere. So, next time y'all decide to puff your chest out, this person ain't American, that person ain't American, pull up a map and see if that person, ethnicity or whatever, falls somewhere within North or South America. Because you could be making a fool of yourself. Take that how you will.
That's a winner.
That's a winner for me. Next week, Dustin, come with Patriot. Please, for me. Please. Got it. I just really want somebody to slay the heck out of these Patriots, and I still ain't cuss. How about it? Family, this is the fire at its core. Nationally, they're brokering our voices and our data like poker chips. At the state level, they're criminalizing truth and erasing evidence. Locally, we've betrayed our own future through the youth by abandoning the trenches. But none of this is permanent. Trust and believe. Even people with cancer recover. Protection comes from us. It's going to have to come from us. Like I said, 60 to 35, us. 65 to 35, us. That's us. Encrypted comms. Documented truths. It has to be documented. Elders, please, elders and some seniors. If you want to be considered an elder again, reclaim your post. Reclaim your post. Stop gatekeeping. Stop chastising by the lips and your tongue. You know, as our elder and as the senior, that the tongue gives life and death. Why are you killing us? Why are you murdering us right at your lips? Even if you don't say it to us, you speak it into the atmosphere and it has to come back. Y'all know this. Because I know this and I got most of this from y'all. Where are y'all? Where are we? Communities refusing to be erased is who we are. We don't wait for permission. We don't wait for saviors. We don't wait for the same system that targets us even in the womb to suddenly protect us. We must protect ourselves. We must protect ourselves. Are you willing to join in and protecting our communities? Are you willing to recite, revive, and relive the covenant that was given to you as our elders currently? Are you willing to fulfill the covenant that your parents and grandparents fulfilled so that you can live the life and luxuries and liberties that you have today. Are you willing? So that's it for me. Y'all stay prayed up, stay prayed up, stay prayed up. Thank y'all for listening and watching. God bless and good night.
Good night.
Good show, y'all. I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. That was
Yes, it
awesome.
was. Yes.
I hope everybody come back Sunday. Tony's gonna be on the Knowledge is Power podcast live at 7 o'clock. Of course, y'all know to tune in at 7, and we'll be back with y'all next Tuesday, stomping on toes and telling truths. Hope to see y'all there.